us this morning. Orlando, good morning. You were there in 2016. Can you see Zeke recapturing any of that 2016 magic?
I don't know. Zeke, he's a different player right now. I mean, the talent is still there, but as you can see from a weight perspective, Zeke's a little bit heavier than he was. That's 4 years ago, I believe. He's got a lot of carries on his body, and it's a totally different team now, totally different offense. Things are different. You know, you got a team with no quarterback, so you're going to get a lot of eight-man fronts, a lot of different type of eight-man fronts. And, you know, this weekend with the Steelers defense, I don't even see him getting anything close to what he got a few years ago.
I concur with everything you said, and I said the exact same thing earlier, is that when you look at it, in 2016, he had 3 of the top 160 offensive linemen in all of football. His left tackle, his center, and his right guard were first-team All-Pro, along with Zeke. The offense was built around Zeke. Offense ran through Zeke. So, and Zeke, and as you said, that was 1,000 carries ago. Zeke is a different player now than what he was then. And the offensive line is different now than what it is then. And when you don't have a quarterback that a defense respects, you're getting all my undivided attention. That's what made Adrian Peterson and the great running backs so special. Eric Dickerson, because he really never had a quarterback, and he still went and got 2,100. He still got 1,800. Look at Adrian Peterson. He had Christian Ponder and got almost 2,100 yards. Zeke.
By the way, real quick on Eric Dickerson, he had Dieter Brock. Do you remember that?
I do remember.
He got to the NFC Championship game with Dieter Brock. That's how great Eric was. Go ahead.
And so I agree with everything you said, I don't see, and it's nice to reminisce sometimes. I go home and I pop in the DVD and I look at my old self like, man, I'm pretty good back in the day. But them days ain't ever coming back. Zeke.
You pop in DVDs of yourself?
Well, it's a VCR.
VHS.
I got you exactly right. I got the.
He's in the 80s.
I put the cat, push it in. I still got one of them. Pop the tape in with more Blockbuster tape.
And you can't really recognize who that guy was?
Yeah, it's real bad. I was like, ooh. Sure wish I need to get them things downloaded on DVD. But I agree with you, I don't see Zeke rekindling that flame, being that guy again. He can be good, but the days of him being the top dog, him being that guy, I think it's over.
Let's just call it wishful thinking.
Yeah, okay, wishful thinking.
So, Orlando.
Yes.
I need your help on this. You know Ezekiel Elliott. You played with the man. You're friends with the man. You get it. I love the man, but I miss him. I don't get to see this very often. Maybe once a game, twice a game, I get to see this. I look back at that 2016 game, which was this week exactly 4 years ago at Pittsburgh. I did not think you guys could win that game. Dak had a big game, but Zeke had a bigger game. And you brought up a very interesting point to me. I'm just using my eye test. As much as I love him, he's gained some weight. He came back from Cabo last year when he got his money a little heavy. And it looks like he's more fullback than halfback now. So is that what you're seeing? Was he much sleeker and 4.4 faster back in 2016?
I think he was younger. I think he was more hungry. I think, with success, the hardest thing to deal with in this NFL and life and just everything in general and all aspects of life is success. And I think Zeke had a little bit of trouble dealing with success. I don't know if he's taken his offseason regimen to what it was before, but I remember when he first got there, when he came off of I believe Ohio State won the national championship. When he first got there, he was a little heavy. He worked to get into shape. He worked to get into great shape. And then he goes and he has the ongoing back and forth legal issue. He's suspended. Is he not? Then he goes to Cabo, serves a suspension, and he comes back. And all you keep hearing is he's leaner. And it's just like when you want to be that top dog and you are that top dog, you got to treat your body as your temple. You know this. You played for a long time. How you treat your body is how it's going to treat you. And you don't see these explosive runs. You don't see these, explosive run after the catch. And I just think they're using them in the wrong way. You're trying to play them every down. You want to make them a third down back. You want to make them run routes. And, they just not the same team anymore. When I watch the Cowboys, I have no idea who they are. They don't have no identity. We hear, okay, we're going to play through Zeke. You know, the first few games you got Dak. It's 3 wide receivers. And then you get the kid DiNucci last game. And then I'm looking at the Dallas Cowboys. Now they're running 3 tight ends, and they don't even have a fullback on the roster. They're running 3 tight ends and just Zeke and just trying to run it up the middle against the strength of Philadelphia. It was simply pathetic. And I look for this weekend to see for the Steelers defense to just say, you know, they just another team with a different helmet that's in the way. And I look for them to be dominant.
The question that I have is that when I look at top athletes, I look at their lifestyle. Is Zeke's lifestyle conducive for being that dog that he once was? That's what the question that Zeke has to ask himself. Am I doing everything I possibly can in the offseason? What's my lifestyle like? What's my training regimen like? What's my eating habits like? What is everything that I need to be that? That's what you have to admire, because anybody can do it one time. I heard Tiger Woods talking like, yeah, anybody can have a dominate, make the field look bad, and they can do it for a week and maybe a month. But can you do it for 3 years? Can you do it for 5 years? Can you do it for a decade? I saw Zeke do it for a little while. Can he?
The thing is, he's that good that he's always going to be in the top half of rushing. But if he took it serious, and he did, and I'm a big sports fan, so I read these guys. I read Russell Wilson spends $1 million on his body. We all know how LeBron James take care of his body. Now imagine if, you know, Zeke did take care of his body like that. And one thing when I played and during my 12 years, I always said, I don't want to be sitting back here or sitting back on TV one day and then saying, what if I would have did it this way?
Yep.
And for Zeke, I'm just afraid that it's getting to the point where it's like, what if I just would have, you know, took my diet more serious? You know, can I sacrifice for a decade of my life to live great for the next 40 years of my life? And I mean, he's going to live fantastic. You know, he got a big old contract. You know, he's going to make a lot of money. He's going to be a Dallas Cowboy. And he was on the way to being a Hall of Famer. But now it's like, is he just going to be a guy that had a good 4 or 5 years? Or is he going to continue and have a good 10 years like Adrian Peterson, Eric Dickerson?
So back to what happened Sunday night at Philadelphia. You said it was hard for you to even watch it. You can't recognize them. There's no identity. But I'm going to remind you, the rookie corner made another play on Carson Wentz early in the third quarter. Trevon Diggs picked it off in the end zone, ran it back out to the 31, and here came Zeke. And I got to watch 3 plays of good old days Zeke. He went 9 yards, 6 yards, and 8 yards, and then he's out of the game. Are you gassed after 3 carries? I don't know. and here comes Tony Pollard. And I like Tony Pollard, but obviously he's not 2016 Zeke. And Tony Pollard gets 7, then 2, and then 9. And I'm saying, wait a second, even with DiNucci at quarterback, we're about to take it in to go up 16-7. Well, that would seem like it was 30-7, right? In a game like that against Carson, walk it to him, give it to him, Wentz, right?
Skip. We've just, man, I don't know how to put this. We've just seen lack of explosive plays that now we're at the point where we're getting excited over 9-yard carries.
Okay, I got it. But at least it looked like it was starting to work even with Tony Pollard. And again, is Zeke not in enough shape to finish the drive? What would Eric Dickerson or Walter Payton or Jim Brown? There's no way you're coming out of that game.
You know, at this point in time, you should be in peak condition right now. 8 weeks into the season.
Eric Dickerson, Adrian Peterson, Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, they're waving you off. No.
They would be outraged.
How many times you waved off the other guy? How many times you waved him off?
You feed me out of called me 2 or 3. I wish you would bring a tight end in and tell me give you a blow.
What?
Blow, you better get out of here.
What are you doing? So Orlando, what happens? They bring Zeke back in. He gets only 2 yards, and they resort to more trickery. They think they have to trick the Eagles. They try Cedric Wilson on a reverse pass. It gets blown up, -10. They miss the field goal, and that was the end of DiNucci's Cowboys as we knew and didn't love them, right?
So, Skip, I'm sitting there, and, you know, good friends with Kellen Moore, college teammates, offensive coordinator.
Yep.
So I'm watching, and I said, a double reverse? I'm scratching my head. A double reverse? I said, you're not playing against Colorado State.
No.
Like, come on, these guys up front is too big and too fast for this. And if you allow these defensive linemen to run around blocks and make plays, of course, Fletcher Cox he'll run around blocks and make plays all day.
Because what is Fletcher gonna do? He in the 3 technique. He gonna run up the field, so he gonna run right into the play.
He was like, "Thank you."
Now, if it was going the other way, you might have had him. But you're running the play. He runs upfield, and here comes Cedric Wilson right into his arm. He's like, "Thank you."
It's hurt. It's painful to watch. You know, it's painful to watch, and it is. It's just painful. It's painful to watch.
Yeah.
You know, it's painful to watch because I know how much some of those guys there want it. The guys that I know how much they want it. But it's like you're your heart got to match what you putting out. Your heart got to match what, like, you know, you putting into the atmosphere. And then when your running back has 5 fumbles in 7 games, you know, he seems like he's a little bit overweight. You know, you got players on defense going back that's not, you know, maintaining their assignments. There was some bright spots on defense. Diggs, he made some plays. DeMarcus Lawrence is starting to play really hard again, starting to play well again. But right now, the Cowboys are in a bad shape. The wheels are off. And, you know, the faster that they admit it and, you know, figure out the way that they can salvage the season, just play hard, just play together, find out who can be core, integral pieces of your program, of your team, of your organization going forward. And the guys that aren't, you got to just move on from them.
Man, this is depressing.
Yeah.
Jenny, save me.
I mean, Skip, has it sunk in yet? I mean, you're still holding on hope. Okay, Orlando, we appreciate you joining us as always. We'll check in with you soon. Coming up next, guys, Fox NFL insider Jake Glazer will join the show to talk all things football, as well as a really cool tradition that he's carrying on once again this season. Stay